Hello everybody, and welcome back to OMB Reviews. I am the critic who is a cynic. Hope we're doing well, and today I'll be doing a review of Supernatural, the entire series, as the series finale has already happened. I know I'm a little bit later to the game on this. I know that it's been a while since the series finale had aired, and obviously a lot of it was delayed due to COVID-19 and all the lockdowns and all that other random nonsense. But I have finally been able to catch up with all of the episodes and have now seen the entirety of Supernatural, all 15 seasons. Yes, you see that right, 15 seasons. Before going any further, though, please be sure to smash the like button, and also please make sure that you're following me over on Odyssey and also on Minds.com. They are great alt-tech platforms, and as we all know, the age of censorship is upon us. My second channel, the OMB Report, has already been demonetized, have had 4 videos removed, and also has been given a strike, so I can't even upload or even post the community tab over there. And so if you want to continue to support the channel and the work that I do, please consider joining me over on Odyssey and check out links in the description for more. Anyway, enough of that self-promotion out of the way. This show really does mean a lot for me. Again, this is 15 seasons, 15 years or so, which is just kind of crazy overall. In fact, I want to pull up the actual show page itself. Yeah, you have 15 seasons, 327 total episodes, with the first broadcast happening in 2005 and the last broadcast happening November 19th of 2020. So as I said, I know I'm a little bit behind on this overall. But yeah, this show has been a part of my life for many, many years. In fact, I got into the show sometime in high school, sometime between high school and college, and I did because I had really great group of friends growing up, especially towards the end of high school, going into college. And unfortunately, we've kind of lost touch of ourselves, which is another reason why I think this series finale kind of hit me a little bit more than other series finales had, because I was just reminded of why I got into this show in the first place. I had a lot of friends that just really couldn't stop talking about the show, and I was always very hesitant because I'm typically not a horror type person. I'm not a monster of the week type person as far as my movie choices are concerned, and so I always had my hesitancies. But my friends recommended it and said that it was just awesome, it was badass, that the characters were great. And so finally I was able to kind of put my toe in the water probably a good 10 years ago, which is it's just crazy to think about, being, 32 years old and thinking back 10 years. It's sometimes hard for me to really think back in that kind of a way that, oh man, it's been a decade that I've actually been watching this show. And it's just been a very fun ride. Now, don't get me wrong. I mean, when you have a show that goes for 15 seasons, you're going to have some ups, you're going to have some downs. There were some really awesome, excellent seasons. You had some not so excellent seasons. But even in the seasons, and even in the episodes that weren't as strong, it was still fun because of the two main stars, Jared Padalecki and Jensen Ackles, as Sam and Dean Winchester, because those two obviously were the glue that held the entire show together, but also they were the heart and soul of the show. And I know that for me personally, Dean Winchester was always the brother that I just always liked the most, because I always connected with him the most. He's the guy that didn't care about his health, right? He just wanted a nice juicy cheeseburger, and like that's just what I feel, constantly. And so I was always able to kind of live vicariously through Dean and through the various characterizations, and it was awesome really just to see them grow up, to see all the things that they went through, and just to see the two actors growing up together. Again, I can't imagine being on the same show with these people. Again, a lot of them being the same people for a good 15 years. I mean, Lord knows the amount of friendships and the amount of bonds that were built with the show are ones that I'm imagining probably will never be broken. And I will say, obviously, there will be some spoilers here, because I'll talk about the last 2 episodes, especially because, in all honesty, this show had 2 series finale. They had the second to last episode and then the last episode, so episodes 19 and episode 20 of season 15. And the reason why is because episode 19, you have this really amazing montage at the end of it where they're both driving in the car, and as they're driving the car, they're thinking, and you just see a bunch of flashbacks. You see things coming back from the first season, from all the seasons in between. You see characters that you haven't seen in a dog's age. You also just have all of those emotions being brought back as well, just with how much of a journey that not just the characters characters have been on, but we have been on as an audience as well. And I just found that it was a very powerful thing. And, you know, my wife was actually in the room as it was going on. And so when she saw that there was one more episode, she says, wait, that wasn't the series finale? And I'm like, I guess it wasn't. I guess it's just going to be one last thing. And sure enough, they had this amazing ending with this great, with this great montage. But there was one last episode because they wanted to get one last hunt, one last monster of the week into the show, which to me fits the show very much, because this was very much that monster of the week type show where there was an ongoing storyline. Every season had a different arc to it, focusing on whether, you know, it was just the typical monsters like Ghost, or whether it was the aspects of them bringing in demons, and then the angels, and then they're bringing in Lucifer and God, and all these different characters, right, that I know from biblical accounts, of course, but they had their own fictional twist on them as well, making them more so into characters in their story, more so than the theological constructs that I follow. But I think they did it in such a unique way where you were able to understand that these were in the frame of the show more fictionalized, and I think that they did a very good job with it, and really just kind of played on, you know, various tropes, played on just different lore. Like, the lore to this show is just so rich, and it was always great to see what they did, even in the seasons that were not nearly as strong. And so, you know, having the last episode be, you know, kind of just going back into it with one last hunt was powerful. And so, big spoiler, of course, is that on this hunt, because now no longer is the character Chuck controlling their lives, controlling the narrative, you know, having them be his very characters. Now it's almost as if they're mortal, right? They can write their own stories. Something goes wrong. Dean ends up running into essentially this I guess, for lack of a better term, spike that's sticking out of a wall, and he dies, and he gets to have his last words saying, "Hey, Sammy, say it's okay, and just kind of giving up, which was a little bit shocking for me, because Dean has always been that personality where he always is just that fighter, right? And so it was that was I think the weirdest part of the entire episode was his death happening so early on. And I think it was meant, obviously, to convey, you know, Sam's emotions, trying to have to deal with it, having to try and get through the grieving process of having lost his brother. And obviously then from that point on, moving forward, growing up, him having his own family, having a son, and then growing all the way old into his own death as well. All the while, they're introducing this new concept of heaven now that Jack has essentially absorbed God powers. He fixed heaven, freed a couple people in the process, including us having just a lot of really cool moments with, obviously, Dean driving in heaven with his car, which was pretty great. And then Bobby, actor playing Bobby, coming back once again, which was a really cool thing to see as well. And then all of a sudden, of course, not all of a sudden, but then of course you have Sam's character growing old, dying, and joining his brother in heaven, and them being able to stand together, have that last hug as they stare off a bridge, staring into the beauty that is what Jack has left behind. And what was really cool is that you think it's over, and then it's not, because then what happens is you get the actors. You actually get Jensen Ackles and Jared Padalecki talking to you, and you know, thanking everyone who's watched the show for 15 years. And again, just the fact that it took, you know, made 15 years. I mean, I don't know. I know that you have Jared Padalecki, who is currently working on Walker, Texas Ranger, and I'm sure that they'll all find other projects, but this was their life for 15 years, and it's going to be very hard to see them not in these roles. I mean, they've become iconic with these roles, and I'm sure that they'll continue to go to all the different cons, and they'll continue to, you know, be Sam and Dean Winchester in the minds of so many people, and I don't think they're going to mind it, because something tells me that they probably have made a pretty good amount of money from this, and will continue to do so. Just from the popularity of the show. You don't last 15 seasons unless you have a sense of popularity. And it's always amazing, too, because you look at all the current crap that's on TV nowadays, especially on the CW of all places, and their shelf life will probably be 5 seasons tops, if even 5 seasons, let alone getting to go 15 seasons with rich lore and storytelling. And so overall, this series has been fantastic. As I said, special place in my heart, because I got into it because of my friends, and so saying goodbye to the show was, in a way, I wouldn't say saying goodbye to my friends, but just reminding myself of those friendships that have kind of faded and lost over time, and a desire to kind of rekindle those friendships in whatever way that I possibly can. But overall, as far as a series goes, I'm going to give the series an A-. I think that it's a fantastic series. I think that if especially you like different lore monster of the week type shows that deal with, as it says there, demons, ghosts, monsters, eventually angels and demons, I think that you'll have a good time. There's a lot of really great side characters that I wish they had been able to bring back just one last time in the last couple episodes, because I always love when shows do that. But I think there was a fitting ending there, other than the beginning of the last episode, as I said, having this moment of Dean's death. I just don't think it was done as well as they could have done that. I agree with the choice there. I thought it was a powerful moment. I just think that they could have done a little bit more there. And don't get me wrong, there's going to be a couple episodes that are for sure going to make you frustrated, that are going to drive you nuts because of just the fact that, again, it's a show that sometimes felt like it was running out of ideas, or that it was regurgitating ideas. But I think even the ones that were regurgitated, I think they were able to put some fresh stuff on it. And it I think worked really well. So yeah, overall series review, A-. Again, fun stuff if you like, as it says, action, adventure, drama, fantasy, horror, mystery. And really it comes down to, after the first couple episodes, if you're not a fan of Dean and Sam together as a duo, you're not going to like the show, because they're the heart and soul of the show, and there's a lot of other really great side characters that get added along the way. But they're the reason why you stick with it. They're the reason why you stick through the really tough episodes and the not so great episodes. But overall, fantastic show, fantastic series, and it's one of those things where I'm glad that it's reached its conclusion, because I did feel like it was starting to really stretch itself thin. Again, going on for 15 seasons. There's other shows currently still going on right now, looking at you, Simpsons, that probably should also end their run for stretching on for too long as well. But I think that it was a good way to end it, and I'm glad they were able to end it on a pretty good note with some two season finales that I think, series finales, that were really good. But anyway, what are your thoughts about this show? Again, I know I rambled on a little bit just because there was this growing up with this show a bit over the past 10 years, especially for me, since I was introduced to it, having to binge watch 5 seasons to then get caught up was a lot of fun, and being a part of the road and falling away from the show, coming back to the show every now and then, binge watching every now and then too, has been a lot of fun. And so let me know your thoughts. Have you seen Supernatural? Are you a fan of the series? Let me know in the comments section below. If you like this video, smash that like button. It really does mean a lot. You're all amazing and beautiful people. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and as always, God bless. And now for a huge shout out to all of my Patreon members: Albertus Magnus, Ali C83, Andrew Hoyle, Animation Commentator, Brian P, Dion, Divex, Enrique Evangelista, Father Christopher Miller, hail to you, Father, Father Damian Cook, Garrett Searles, The Honky Chonky Funky Monkey, Inflamed Wood, It's a Trap Productions, Jason Clark, Jacob Juice, Jay, Jeff Toon, Jonathan Carney, Laura Story, the Modern Major General, Mag Jackson, Mad Mitch Dunaway, Mr. Peabody and his evil twin with the beautiful hair, On to June, Orange Hat Reviews, Out of Step with Reality, Riff Magos, Rosetta Allen, Steve Glasker, Teresa Martin, Theodore Benden, Tina Bojan, and Tina B, the Empress of the Universe, and Priscilla Hall. Thank you so very much for being my Patreon members, and a huge shout out also to my Subscribe Star members: Stan 4, John B, Perpetual Punster, Mr. Roy, Glinzer, Darkstar 57, J. Alex McCarthy Jr., Dean Heiss / the new number 2, J-Rod the Beer Guru, Nebanon G. Adams, and the K-Man. Thank you all very much for being my Subscribe Star members, and to all people who support the channel. It really does mean a lot. If you want to support the channel and have your name shouted out, please make sure that you join on Patreon or Subscribe Star today. If you sign up at the $5 or up level, you'll also get access to exclusive giveaways, including for 4K and Blu-ray titles. At the $10 level, you get all of that, plus you get access to an exclusive podcast that I do with John the Flick Pick Flickinger. There's actually currently an episode that I made public on the channel right now, so you can go ahead and check that out. If you want to have more access to even more episodes and more content and the ability to ask us questions, please feel free to check that out as well. And if you join at the $25 level and up, the Chosen of Valhalla level, you get to have all of those things, plus you get a free t-shirt that first month that you sign up for it, and every month you will be able to access the Chosen of Valhalla live stream, where me and my chosen just talk for about 2, 3, sometimes even 4 hours about whatever it is that they want to talk about. So check all of that out in the links in the description below. You are all amazing and beautiful people, and we all have a wonderful day. And as always, God bless.